Good afternoon, everyone. Or it might not be your afternoon, but it's my afternoon. Just popping on for a little special live, I don't know, unscheduled live. Let's call it that. Unscheduled live until a couple of hours ago. I knew I was going to come on that long. But then, as isn't the norm around here, I wanted to take a nap, and I was creating too long, so I was just gonna lay down for about a half hour, and I did, and then I almost went back to sleep. So oh, you're getting me fresh, well, kind of fresh. You're getting me rested. How about that? So I'll probably wake up in about a half hour, so I can't be responsible for anything I say the first 30 minutes. So I have one of the cards finished, and we're going to put a little different spin on the color, and then another card's just kind of in my head, you know? So that's what happens, right? Make one together usually, and then one I have put together. So I wanted to use new product today, and I'm using some existing product as well. The Well Wishes, you will see here the Well Wishes. I used the word friend, and I used the sentiment inside is from Well Wishes, but of course I'm using Flowers for All Season with the little jar punch, and I am using foliage, something foliage, fall, I don't know, it's not fall foliage, I think it's full foliage. Almost getting all the names. I finally got over whatever I was calling Misty Moonlight. So I'm getting my brain recalibrated, right? Let me look up this DSP. I don't want to get it wrong. It's you can order it in the pre-order. Forever Greenery. Okay, I wasn't close at all, but you know. And then I just almost showed you the catalog. I have that thing where I just want to like jump on and show you the catalog. Cannot do it, my friends. Cannot do it until June 3rd. However, you could look at your own copy. So if you're in the United States, you don't already work with another demonstrator, I would love to send you a catalog. I do charge $10 up front. I send it priority. And so the $10 covers some of the shipping and catalog costs. However, I turn right around and I give you $10 off of your first order. So it ends up being free. Anyway, if you are interested, I'll be sending more out in the mail, priority, tomorrow. And would love to send one to you. Okay? And I usually throw some in color little treat in there and stuff like that. So I don't let it come alone. Well, I hope you like what I've made here. I thought it was kind of cute. Very easy to go together because, like I said, we have all this beautiful new product. So why don't I bring in some of the pieces and parts that I have cut for the next card, and we'll just chit chat. Oh, you know what I want to do though? I want to show you a couple of cards I got. Little happy mail. Hello. Oh my goodness, I haven't even said hi to anyone. Ah, so nice to see all of you ladies popping on, and maybe husbands hiding in the background, right? So nice to see you on this beautiful day. So our day started out really dark and rainy here, and frankly, I could have 9 out of 10 days be like that. That would be perfectly fine with me. But now the sun's out, so even nicer. So this is a card I got, I believe, from Tango and Cash. They may have had some help from my best friend Katie. I got this for Mother's Day. So, of course, that's always fun when I get a Mother's Day card. Not the first Mother's Day card I've gotten from them, actually. They miss a few years, but not very many. So, I appreciate that. And then I got this beautiful card from Jill Peterson again. Very prolific and beautiful card maker and beautiful person from everything I can tell. All indications indicate to me that she's a beautiful person. And so this went into the mailbox, or it went into a regular envelope. I'm sorry. Remember I told you I just woke up. So this is what it looks like the cross section of it. And It's a beautiful fold. She does some really great fun folds, doesn't she? And so then it just folded flat like that. And it's one of my very favorite sentiments. This, the DSP is not carrying over as usual, but these are from Sweetly Stitched Sentiments. And these birds are carrying over. I just can't remember. I want to call it Bird Ballad. But I love that sentiment. The world needs more of you. I mean, it's nice to read as the recipient, and it's really nice to stamp as the giver. So, and like Jen told us earlier in the week, scientists have proven that the giver feels 4 times more happiness than the receiver. What do you think about that? I think that's probably true. I think I probably get more than 4 times the happiness than the giver or than the receiver. See, the receiver feels lucky, but secretly I got a lot of happiness out of it. So anyway, Jill, rest assured, I got a lot of happiness out of receiving that card, as well as Tango and Cash. Thank you so much. Oh gosh, Free as a Bird. Okay, I think the DSP is called Bird Ballad, but yes, Free as a Bird stamp set still going to be available. Still available now. So if you can't live without it, let's just get that into an order. Okay, so as you can see here, I've layered some of the beautiful new DSP, and I also used some of the ribbon. This ribbon is part of a combo pack. It's actually 3 different ribbons or 2 ribbons and a baker's twine that you get in the same package. I love it. And this is, let me grab that stamp set. This is from Jar of Flowers. Okay, this is a pre-order for demonstrators. So if you are a demonstrator or discount shopper, whatever you like to call yourself, you can order this today. Otherwise, customers, lovely customers, can order it on June 3rd. It comes like this as a bundle. You save 10% if you buy the Jar of Flowers stamp set and the cute little jar punch. Isn't that great? And of course, you can use both of them separately or together. Hello, Kathy. I just saw, hi, Kathy, or hi, Lisa. Of course, I see everyone else too. Hello. It's Bird Ballad because you keep saying Ballard. Okay. Too funny. So I stamped this before I put it away. It has some reversible components. So these 3 pieces are reversible. So for the jars, or I guess this will be a little short base, you can either get the shading as if it's glass, or you can do a solid image as if it's, like a piece of pottery or something like that. So we love that. And then here's this long diagonal stripe piece. Really cool. Somebody told me you could use it for a straw. Anyway, you can use it for whatever you want to use them for. But you can either have it be as a solid long strip or the diagonal. And then the beautiful flowers, of course. So I stamped the images. I like the size of them. They're a little bit larger, but they still, of course, they're proportional to the jar. And, but they're just like these big, beautiful bouquets. And the detail on them is great, like the sunflowers. And then do you notice that they've put this, like a thistle right in the back? But you can clearly tell what it is. So fun. And so anyway, and I stamped this one today. So I hope you are going to enjoy this as much as I'm already enjoying it. It's a really fun one it's a fun one, and it's easy to just pick up and start working with. So put that off to the side. So what I did here was, again, I used some new paper called In Good Taste. Oh, it's this beautiful, it's got a lot of, it's just full of textures and patterns and colors. It's a double pack, so I believe it's $21. But just keep that in mind when you're purchasing that. It's a double package of paper. It's fantastic. It's got all sort of, looks like stacked stone, hand-cut tiles. There's one herringbone, beautiful herringbone. There's some that look like a Spanish tile. There's some that looks like fabric. You name it. All different, you know, all different hues and everything. Lots of neutrals, as well as a little bit of Night of Navy, Petal Pink, or Cocoa Rose. Oh, okay. And I'm really kind of partial to this one today. I think we're going to try and work this into our card. We can always change our minds, but that's kind of what I'm thinking about. So that'll be our second card. But let's just go ahead and get started on this card. And now, while I was trying to nap, not really napping, but then dozing off and having weird dreams, of course I was thinking about this as a different color combo. So I think we're going to try it. Why not? Now, this is the same piece of paper. I'm sure it matches up somewhere. Anyway, it was the same piece of paper. And I just cut it in half because I want to show both sides. So it has this great stripe, right? And then it has this beautiful foliage. Let me try and grab the full sheet behind me. You know, I'm in this camping chair. So I'm kind of stuck in place. Anyway, here's the full beautiful design. And then if you want to use the back, it's just like never-ending stripes. It'd be beautiful for all of this. Would be beautiful for scrapbooking paper. Now, this is going to be some of the paper that's going to be available in my paper share. I will be putting out information about that this week. I can't take pre-orders for it until a week before the catalog goes live anyway. But if you are interested in getting into my paper share, I would love to send you a quarter pack of 10 of the different DSPs. It's going to be a lot of cool papers, right? And it's quite an investment to buy all 10 of those papers. But if we do a paper share, I can just send you a quarter of all of the packs of paper. I am not going to include, I'll tell you what I'm not going to include because it's not much. I'm not going to include the new 6x6 in colors, and I'm not going to include the new patterned 6x6 papers for the color families, but I'm going to include 10 DSPs. So if you're interested in that, please just, the easiest way is to make sure you're following or make sure you're signed up for my newsletters. And you can do that at thestampingzoo.com. And then I'll put the pricing out probably later on this week. So anyway, got to get that ready, and I'm going to be really excited about it because it's so fun to send those off. And everyone loves to get a little bit of all the papers, don't we? I like to. I was in paper shares before I was a demonstrator, so I get it. Anyway, so that's just one of the 10 different papers, or the 10 different groupings of papers. So if you can just imagine how many different combos and designs you're going to get in the paper share, it's going to be pretty fantastic. It's going to be a stellar paper share. Now, this is one of the in colors, Just Jade. So I used Pretty Peacock for this one. Oh, I love Pretty Peacock. I thought we'd pull out Just Jade and use Just Jade with this because, of course, the DSP uses, I think, all of the greens that that we have, and we do have some beautiful ones. And the first modification I'm going to make to my card right now is I'm going to move the DSP to simply move the stripes up to the top and the floral down to the bottom. And also, obviously, I'm using the card base of Just Jade. The first card layer is Pear Pizzazz, and I think I'll just leave that. I think that one's going to work just fine. So the one thing I want to do is kind of get the base started, start building it. So I hope everyone's had a great weekend. You know what? I had a really nice weekend. Hey, see you later, Vic. Yeah, I got to see my friend Katie both days. She came over and we hung out on the back patio yesterday. And then I had some extra mulch from my gardening project a couple weeks ago. And so I took that over there today. The dogs got to ride in the pickup. They're always a little anxious about that. Not quite sure. They're more car people. But, you know, they'd rather go. They're go people first. Or they're go dogs first. So they're going to go wherever I'm going to go. And then I cut a little piece of our berry vellum. This is kind of to mute the paper, I would guess. I guess you could call it. So that we can still put a pattern up on top of it. And the one thing I'm going to do, just for right now, I will adhere it a little more later, but for right now, all you really need, hello Roz, is just one glue dot in the middle. We're going to take a little nibble out of the edge of this paper. And so we want this to be already laid down, just in case it hits the edge, and I think it's going to. So then the final thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to just, where these papers meet, I'm going to take a little slice out of that with, I think this is a 1/2 inch punch. Probably a little too much, but that's okay. Actually, it doesn't matter because ribbon's going to sit in there. And when you do that, then as you can see, it's sliced out right there. It's punched out, but then the ribbon comes into your design. And it doesn't really just sit on the outside of the design. Now this is some of that beautiful ribbon I was telling you about that's in the ribbon combo pack. And this is also, the combo pack is part of the Sweet Flowers for All Season, which is where this punch and stamp set comes from. So this is just jade as well. Isn't it pretty? Look at it. They've made one side straight. Let me see if I can get this. There we go. One side straight and one side has a tiny little like scalloped edge. Anyway, it's crazy cute. And of course the gingham. Like, we're crazy for gingham, aren't we? We love it. So I think it goes perfectly. And of course we're using all these different patterns, which is so fun. But they come together because they're unified with the color palette. Okay, so I usually want to get my bow started and make sure I have enough on one side. Sometimes I just go ahead and tie it. And this is really, it's pretty fun. The ribbon is really one of those, I guess, weights that I like. It'll stand up a little bit on its own. You don't have to add a lot of bulk to it. See, it's already trying to like move around on its own. I know, Kathy, it's really pretty. And the white ribbon and the baker's twine that comes with it are both fantastic. So I think the combos are really winners. I think they're economical, and I think I usually end up using like every bit of them because they just, you know, they're already coordinate. So let's see if I can get this kind of, I don't know, where I want it. Now I'll probably cut this just a tiny bit more. Now look at that. Isn't that fun? It wasn't fussy to tie, but then it just like stands up on its own. So cute. I think it'll be great for mailing because it'll probably flatten, you know, of course it does. Then it just pops right back up. So now that we have that part done, I'm going to go ahead and put, using snail all the time I can now, because we're going to be treated with some new adhesives. So when we get the new adhesives, of course, I'm sure I'm going to want to use the new adhesives, right? I love snail. I'm not going to stop using it. I'm not going to, what do I want to say? I'm not going to throw away what I have, of course, but I'll be using the new product as well. So already pretty. You add a sentiment to this, and I think it's really pretty, right? But we're going to zhuzh it up a little bit more. Let's see. Oh gosh, I had a piece of paper here that just had one punch out of it with that jar. And I believe I shuffled these papers. That's okay. Remember I told you this is a double pack of paper. So, gosh, just looking through it, right? It's beautiful. It has, of course, a lot of wood patterns because those always, they sell. They're super popular. They go with lots of different styles. You know, you can make it like a country style, of course. It goes with modern. It goes with shabby chic. It goes with just about anything. It's just a really fun way. It's like a textural neutral. So, I guess while I'm looking for that one piece of paper that I'm probably not going to find, at least you guys can see all the different patterns. So, you know, there we go. Okay, well, like I said, I'm going to use a new piece of paper. Oh, brother. I hope that's not going to be a problem. I just fed that beast. So, I think they were waiting for me to get up, but thank goodness they weren't bothering me. They were sleeping with me, which was the problem. They were making it too comfy. Hello, Robin and Wendy and Suzanne. So nice to see all of you. Okay, so I know this isn't a jar. I know you're not going to have a jar made out of wood, but you can when it's paper. You can when it's your own artistic creation. You can do whatever you want. And, okay, so then what I did on this is I wrapped the baker's twine around it a couple of times. So I just put a little bit of snail on the back. I did try, I tried to use the paper that's in the combo pack, or the baker's twine, but the baker's twine is Misty Moonlight. And I just really didn't feel like I wanted to bring that blue into the color scheme. I don't know. I put it on, I tried it, I took it off for another time. Believe me, I'll find many uses. And actually, so you get 5 yards of the ribbons, and then you get 10 yards of the baker's twine. Sweet. Because a lot of times I like to double the baker's twine anyway. It gives you, you know, it gives you a little more bulkier appearance. So, right out of the gate, it was like they read my mind once again. Thank you, Stampin' Up. Thank you for reading my mind. Since I'm talking about it so much, why don't I bring those in? So this beautiful white. Look at that. Really pretty. Also going to be great to tie. Now, can you really see that? Let me try and put it against the white. This, again, this is the Misty Moonlight, and it has a silver thread that runs through it. The silver is really easy to pull out if you didn't want that for some reason. I can't imagine that you wouldn't. I don't know. Maybe you wanted to use it with gold, though, and you don't like to mix your metals. I just want you to know that you can do that. So you get all 3 of these in the same package, and wasn't that just, that was brilliant. What a brilliant trio. I love it. So don't forget that. You can order it right now. Again, it's available right now. Okay, I think I'm going to cut the edges of this a little bit. I don't want them even because that'd be too much. Too much fussy. Okay. And so we've got our jar ready. Now, I cut this out. We may use something else. I don't know, but let's stamp those beautiful flowers now. I stamped these. So I was using our Stampin' Blends, but I stamped these in soft suede. And I did that because I wanted to bring in the brown from the vase. And I also wanted, it's an opportunity for me to remind you that when you're using the blends, you can use any of the classic Stampin' Pads. You don't have to just use Memento. It's just that if you want to use black, you use Memento. not stays on. But you can color with the blends in any of these classic Stampin' Pads. Okay, not the white, but the white's not classic. The white is a craft ink pad. Don't do that. That'll just be a big mess. But don't forget that. So here's the other thing I was thinking about when I was kind of going off into La La Land. Is here I've used a combo that I like. I tried to just go easy, right? I love pink and green. I used Rococo Rose and let's see here. I used Rococo Rose, I used Petal Pink, and I used just a tiny touch of Fleur de Flamingo. But then when I laid down, I covered up with my favorite quilt. And my favorite quilt, I'll have to take a picture of it sometime. It's so cute. My aunt made it for me, and it actually has Tango and Cash applique on it. Anyway, it's purple and green. That's really my favorite color combo, is purple and green. So, of course, I was like, all right, we're going to make these flowers purple. So I'm going to use the Highland Heather and Purple Posy. It still keeps it pretty light. And I still get to use all of these beautiful greens. And so remember I was telling you that other flower was so detailed and it has a thistle in it. This is also really detailed. It has eucalyptus. Like, can't you almost just smell this beautiful arrangement? Oh, so anyway, I was like, well, I am definitely coloring that eucalyptus. That's like one of my favorite, that kind of menthol smell. I mean, it's not very sexy, but it's one of my favorite fragrances. I think it just always makes me, it clears my head, makes me feel good. So, and some of you know that I am addicted to Vicks Vapor Rub. I use a fancier version. It's called Breathe from doTERRA, but the same concept, okay? And okay, so oops, that's dark. I want to use light. So let me just keep coloring the green pieces that I kind of like. Jill, I am so glad you got on Facebook too. I was just gushing about this beautiful creation. You'll have to watch the beginning. I'm sure everyone commented that they are absolutely in awe of it, as I was. Okay, so back to our little eucalyptus. It's so cute. And again, I think that it's fun to, you can create quite a different look by stamping these things in different inks. We have all these beautiful inks, right? And then we stamp everything in black. Sometimes we get like, we just get on that repeat. Well, don't just stamp everything in black. Next time I challenge you, when you're coloring with blends, to use a different color of classic Stampin' Pad, okay? And then tag me in your creation. I'm sure you will inspire me as well. I need inspiration. You've watched me. You know I need some inspiration now and then. Okay, I think I'll go ahead and I am just going to keep the greenery at Tango. You stop that now. Great. I'm going to have to shut the door. I'm going to keep the color combo for the greens with light and dark Granny Apple. Oh, I don't want that. I need more control today. Remember I told you I'm just getting up from a nap. Hello, Christine. Nice to see you. Wendy, must be Monday morning for you already. Or I hope it's not too early, right? You know, I know you have, sometimes you have a little insomnia set in. So I hope you had a great night's sleep. Hope it's a beautiful Monday morning for you. Sunday afternoon for me. I'll be watching some junk TV tonight. I actually got some things done around my house. So tonight I will treat myself to junk TV, which is currently, on Sundays I watch 90 Day Fiancé. Oh man, talk about different personalities. I don't know what else to say about it. Oh, 9:30. See? Great. Hello, Teresa. Oh, Teresa says she's been using a lot of soft suede too with her blends rather than black. It really changes it up, doesn't it, Teresa? It's just one more thing that, like, I know we have so many different supplies. It's hard to use all of them all the time, but I know that, like, a long time ago, I stopped making the inserts of most of my cards white because we have all these beautiful colors, but our default's just white. I think that's because all the store-made cards are just white inside, but that's one of the beautiful things about us making our own cards, is that our cards don't have to be white inside. They can be stamped, they can be colored, whatever you want. You can do embossing. That show is way too much drama. Exactly, Jill, which is why I love it. Sometimes it gets to be a little too much, I'll be honest, and then I just go, okay, I'm fast forwarding. And there's also a lot of commercials, so I rarely ever watch it live. I usually delay it at least, 30, 45 minutes. So, okay, we've got some dark Highland Heather. I always kind of like to do this. I like to give myself a little swatch here. And I normally will start with the light first. I don't know, guess I'm just a little scared of making it too dark. Drama to the max. It is. But isn't the whole situation just kind of crazy in itself? I mean, really, 90 Day Fiance, brother. And that's like if you don't have to deal with cultural and language differences. I don't know if some of you have watched it. Some of these people don't even speak the same language. I'm not kidding. Like, how is that supposed to work? Or maybe that makes it work really excellently. I don't know. But anyway, I got a lot of house cleaning done yesterday, and my body was being kind to me, so I took advantage of that and I got after it. Good Lord, I even did some dusting. It's like you would have thought the Queen of England's getting ready to come here. Nope, just me though. And anyway, so I got all that stuff done, which is really nice. But I'm back at it in the morning. Got to go back to work. But I think I'm going to be able to work from here, which I'm really, really enjoying. I think I've told you about 100 times how much I like that. And I still like it. So I've just used Highland Heather on those. I think I'm going to end up kind of how I did, like 2 the same color and then 1. Let's look at Purple Posy. Purple Posy really has my heart. It's very close, but it's a little brighter. This is always one of the best ways, I think, to get to know your colors, is to just put them side by side. So you have Highland Heather, dark and light, and then Purple Posy, light and dark. And so you really can't see the difference once you, just do a little swatch. Love After Lockup. Oh, no, I haven't watched that, but I mean, the title just basically tells me what goes on there. That's funny. Okay, let's start with dark Purple Posy. And of course, I've been hanging out with the children. I've been with them all weekend, actually, so they haven't had to be without me all weekend. I mean, can you imagine? They're either really sick of me or really happy. But that Cash would just be happy if I would just sit and rub his belly all day long. I mean, all day long, seriously. The kid never gives up. I mean, like, Cash, I gotta get off the couch. Life is just not all about belly rubs. Oh, this is beautiful already. So this is the Purple Posy. And then I am going to try and blend this a little bit. Hello, Carla and Sherry. Nice to see you, ladies. So I'm going to blend this out a little bit. Look at how pretty this is. It's so bright. I mean, it's not neon or anything, but it's a really pretty contrast to the Highland Heather. I'm just kind of using, when I blend, I like to blend out in circles. And I'm not being careful about the borders. In fact, I want to leave some white. It's kind of my new thing. I'm trying to I'm trying to branch out in my coloring. Oh, and then the other one, the other flower, I forgot. Let me add a couple different pieces here. Oh, that's Purple Posy. Yeah, Purple Posy. Sorry, I was getting confused. Thank goodness I'm only using 2 different colors of purple. It's not that confusing, Lisa. So let me come in with the light again. So let me know in your comments. Have all of you been having fun with your pre-orders? Have you been having fun with your retiring orders? Have you been paper crafting this week? What have you been making? I've seen so many things online. Man, I've been just soaking it up like a sponge. And I think you all know that the paper pumpkin came out this month. I'm not going to show it to you. This is the one for this month. It's called A Kit in Color, May. Oh my gosh, it's going to be so fun. So it's 4 of the in colors. I don't think they used Bumblebee. And then Purple Posy. And it's so cute. Like when I opened it, I know that I got this huge smile on my face. Because what's inside it is it's really happy. Again, it's like they kind of knew the perfect time to send this out. I know that they've had it planned for months, but it just kind of works. And I am going to be, I'm not going to do it on a live. I'm not going to work with the paper pumpkin on a live this month because I am organizing an international Zoom pumpkin party. So it's free to everybody. I want all of you to be there. It's on Friday night, the 29th at 7 o'clock my time, which is Mountain Time. You can find all the information if you go to my events section of this Facebook page. You can get the password and the Zoom phone number, and that's all you need. If you haven't used Zoom before, it's super easy. You just have to download the app and then put in, basically it's like you're calling a phone number. So you put in the phone number, you put in your password, and that's it. And I just suggest that you try it before Friday night at 7 p.m. because I won't have time to help you then, because I'll be busy. I'll be busy making and creating. So anyway, this format for the International Pumpkin Party, it's not a tutorial necessarily. It's for all of you to come on with your paper pumpkin kits. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be this current month. It can be a prior month. It can be, something that you've already made that you're doing alternates with. Just come on, ready to create, and hopefully ready to show off some things you're working on. And then at the same time, though, I will be showing and doing a little bit of tutorial. I'm going to make 2 alternates with the current kit. So we'll have just a little bit of teach time, but mostly just visiting. I just want to see your faces and say hi. So please put that on your calendar. Like I said, it doesn't cost anything. You just have to, jump on. Okay, we need to fussy cut this. You can do it. I know you can do it. Don't be scared. Because look, I fussy cut that. In fact, I was kind of thinking when I was doing it, I was thinking that I was going to use a die cut. And then I realized, no, the bundle comes with a punch for the jar. But these are not hard to, Jen calls it bubble cut. These are not hard to bubble cut. But what do you think of that color combo? I think it's gorgeous because, again, it's probably my favorite color combo. So anyway, I'm just going to take off some of this excess, and I think you all know that when you're cutting, it works a lot better if you move the image and not your scissors so much, okay? So let's just kind of, I mean, I'm not being careful. I think if you try to be too careful, then it's not going to look perfect because you've tried to cut it too close. So just gonna kind of cut around some of these. I love how the Highland Heather and the Purple Posy play off of each other. And I think that, at least for me, the Granny Apple is definitely the right green. Next time, I might think Old Olive is the right green. I don't know. But I'm really liking this right now. So we're gonna go with it. And of course, I mean, this is a beautiful bouquet. I wanted to work with this one today, but there are 3 more in there. So I think that you're gonna have a lot of fun with the stamp set. And you don't even have to use the jar. I've seen this repeated on the bottom of a card, and then it looked totally different, you know, because it was just like a border. And so these don't just have to be little bouquets in the jar. You all know that the starting designs is really just half of it. You can create anything you want. Hello kids, what's going on out there? Did I hear someone barking? That's not possible. Somebody just came in behind me. I'm sure you just hear the little clickety clack. There, that's how easy it is. Oh goodness. Okay, so, oh brother. Hey, you two be quiet. You guys be quiet. We're getting there with our little creation, right? So this is gonna go down flat. The jar is gonna go down flat over the ribbon, and then I'm gonna pop the flowers up. One thing I'm gonna do though with the adhesives is up over on the lid of the jar, what's the lid of the jar, I'm gonna put a couple glue dots. I want there to be a little stronger adhesive there because I'm gonna be going up over this ribbon, and it kind of just needs that. So there's the glue dot that I put in the center of the paper. Now my paper kind of slid around a little bit, so I want to make sure as I'm building this, I'd like to move this jar over a little bit. Oh, I think I can, because the flowers will cover up that glue dot. So on that same note, Kathy says her order's still picking. I know, Kathy. Yeah, that's not a Stampin' Up! Problem necessarily. That's a world problem right now, isn't it? Normally, they're so fast. Normally, I have my orders like within 4 days of placing them. I'm only 1 state over. I'm probably a lot quicker than, that's probably a lot quicker than most of you get it. But these last 2, finally, I think the supply chain is like kind of getting exhausted, you know? So every step is probably moving a little bit slower. But they shipped. In fact, I got the notes that they shipped last night at 7. So I can tell they're working weekend shifts. Okay, so that's more than I can ask from them. And it's not my medicine. Well, it's kind of my medicine. But you know what I mean. It's not medicine. It's stamping supplies. So they'll be here when they get here. But you bring a good point, Kathy, which is that Stampin' Up! Has told us that the pre-order was insanely popular. And so that's fantastic news. Except you've got to be careful, because when this catalog goes live, some things may already be at a little bit lower inventory than they expected, you know? So that means if you want something, you'd better order it. and you know, I mean, budgets, and you've got to keep your budget in mind and all that stuff. We always say that, or at least I always say that. But I'm just saying, like, maybe don't sit and think about it forever, because between that and the shipping, you're gonna wait a while. In the United States, we do have the option of overnight shipping. We have the option of 2-day shipping. At least in Idaho, I have that option. And it's not really that cost prohibitive. It's kind of okay. It works out. but I don't do it every time. Okay, now right away I can tell you that I really will prefer to have this in one of the purples. So, since, as we know, I put all of my pieces and parts together in order last week, I can just pull one of my little scrap packages really quickly, and I don't even cut into the biggest piece anymore. I kind of look around for the smallest piece of that color or something that's been cut into a lot. There we go. And what I was thinking was using birthday wishes for this one, because I used Friend for this. This one's like the kind of cards I'm sending out every day right now. It's encouragement cards. So for this one, birthdays are still going on, right? So let's get out the die set that I cut these from, which, oh, thank heaven, is in the new catalog as well. It's carrying over. It's Wise Words, and its coordinating stamp set is Well Wishes. Thank goodness. So handy. So let me grab that. And let's cut wishes. Here it is. And I'm using, this is Highland Heather. We have Purple Posy, but Highland Heather was what I grabbed. Oh, Roz says so much on back order already. Well, thank goodness. I mean, I ordered early, but also I ordered plenty. And frankly, some things being on back order might be the best thing for me. Because I might lose my mind. There were so many beautiful things in there. Now, Wendy, if you're still on there, notice I discarded the tittle. I have to be very careful when I say that, but the tittle is the little eye on, it's the dot on the eye. Wendy taught me that. I'd probably known it when I was in grade school, but Wendy, of course, still knew it, because remember, Wendy is my Australian research assistant. So, she is so good to me. So I'm so glad to see that she's on here. She can help me out with that. Hello, Billy. Nice to see your name pop up. I hope you're doing well. All right. Now, where's that stamp set that I was bragging about? This is the Well Said stamp set. Do you see why you have to have it? I mean, it has, I don't remember. I remember that I put the labels on all of these. Oh, there's 51. 51 stamps. Okay. So if you need a sentiment, it's here, right? You need a Mother's Day, you got it. Sympathy, birthday, congratulations. It's just fantastic. And then I love that these are in general, you could use them on the front too, but they're in general like the sentiments that you might put on the inside of cards. So yeah. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to get out the birthday, the one that says birthday, and I want to stamp that, and then I just want to cut it out in white and pop it up on the jar as well. Because why not? We have it. Why not? Right? And I can use Highland Heather. I always forget about this. Okay, so I have the Purple Posy ink pad, and I should throw it away because it doesn't always work very well, because that's why we discontinued it. But I'm still tempted to use it sometimes, and for small things I think it's okay, but it definitely doesn't, what do I want to say, it doesn't give you, it has kind of a spotty appearance, mottled look. Yeah, it's definitely chemically challenged somehow. Oh gosh, I don't want to start stamping on that. That already looks too crazy. I'll never be able to cut a straight line. You know me. Okay, let's take a look at this. few other sets like this that are, you know, that have all of the sentiments in them. I don't know. And I like them, but this is just my favorite. The font and everything. I don't know. Just works for me. I think that looks pretty straight. I'm going to stamp another one just because I can. I don't think I'm going to run out of white scraps anytime soon. So, which is so good that I am, brother, what's wrong with me? Which is so good that I got them all organized, right? Oh, there we go. I think the final one looks the best. Sometimes it just takes 4. What can I say? Let me get this pretty close to the vest here. I don't want it to have a big, huge. It's just going to kind of be off-centered there. Did you say it's in the caddy? What are you talking about, Jill? The wise words and the well said? It is. It's carrying. Susan. Hello, Susan. Susan sent me an email before I came on here. I haven't had a chance to look at it, but Susan was one of the several people who are in the Chopped Challenge. So, oh my gosh, I've been having so much fun getting your submissions, you guys. They're fantastic. And I'm so glad that I'm not like unilaterally voting for the winner. You're all going to be voting for the winner. Thank goodness. Because I couldn't choose a winner. And so anyway, they've all been really cool. In fact, a couple of times I didn't even recognize the product. And I thought it was just, you guys were sending me like these random pictures. And I was like, well, I love it. And then you'd say like, no, it's my entry for Chopped. So, okay. Oh, the set I'm using. Yes, this is Jar of Flowers also. And so it comes with the punch of the mason jar. And it's in pre-order. It's available on pre-order, I believe, as well as when the catalog goes live. So Roz was just informing us a lot of things are on back order. Roz is Flowers for All Season on back order. If you know, if you don't have to look it up or anything, I just was wondering. Okay. I feel like somebody's watching me. Yep, they are. And then they just took off. Like, just checking to make sure I didn't escape out the window. You know me, I'm always jumping out the window. I'm so agile that way. Trying to get away from the dogs, right? Hardly. In fact, Katie jumped up in the pickup today when we needed to get the rest of the mulch out. And I was thinking to myself, good, because I wasn't going to do that. Okay, now we just need to figure out where we're going to put that little birthday. So cute. Oh, good Lord. I'm just thinking about these nails I have. Going to be, I believe, I'm still a little uneasy about it, but I think I'm going to be getting my nails done on Tuesday. Ooh, I think that's where I want it. What do you think, everybody? So, oh, I'm sorry, Jill. Yeah, the words are in the catalog too. They're a continuing set. So they have dies and stamps. Wise words and well wishes. I thought you had all this memorized. Jill, I'm surprised at you. This is cute. It's very cute. Now look, we have made quite a different card. I'm going to get some zhuzh out for this, right? And we need an insert. And I'm just talking about not making a white insert, so we're not going to. Oh, those are the brights. We need the subtles. We need some Highland Heather. I think Highland Heather is a good... Well, you know what? I'm going to grab some Purple Posy, actually. I think I want some pretty purple posy. It's a touch lighter. And I hope I have some in the right size. If not, I'm going to have to kick out of this camping chair. Oh, brother. All sorts of craziness. Come on. Work with me. What? That looks pretty slim. Okay. Just for you. Just for you. I'm going to go get this. Purple Posy cardstock is very beautiful. And oh, there's a little bit. Okay. And then we're going to put some beautiful embellishments on it too. So let's do 3 3/4 by 5. Then we can see the great contrast between Just Jade and Purple Posy. All right. Okay. And now I have a couple more strips for the scraps bag. Oh, brother. Oh, Susan, isn't that hilarious? I was just reading what you said, and then that was instinctually what I said. I must say it a lot. Well, hey, if it makes you laugh, then excellent. I'm glad. Oh, gosh. Okay, I don't know what I did with the snail. It ran away, slid away, really. Oh, before I do this, let's put one of our sentiments on the inside, right? We have them, and they're so cool. Let me bring that in again. Okay, Jill, this is the one, the Well Said. Gorgeous. So there are a couple different ones that you can use with the birthday sets. And a couple different inside inserts, I guess, like I was talking about before. So we have a few things to choose from. Oh, great. I hate it when that happens. The best thing about today is you. Let's see. You mean the world to me. Time for a new adventure, maybe. So happy you're here. All these kind of fit, right? There's one that's more specific. To my always from your forever. You could use that if you were giving it to your significant other. Where's this one go? It's almost like a little puzzle. I don't have the right backing paper in here. I ran out of my backing paper that's super slick. And so, okay, here we go. Celebrating another year of happiness. Here's one that's really good for right now. Far apart, but close at heart. Don't you think that's a good one? Hope things are starting to loosen up a little bit where you guys are. Of course, it doesn't mean that like everything's magically okay, right? Just because you put a due date or a date on something. But we have to start somewhere, I guess. So I'm just using my own best judgment for what's good for me and starting small. Susan says, you admire Well Said, but it's too much money. Well, it is a little bit of an investment, Susan. However, if you're looking for a stamp set like that, I don't think you can go wrong with it. And also, don't forget that there are lots of ways. I mean, besides being a demonstrator, you get a discount if you're a demonstrator. But also, you can host a party, and then you can use your hostess benefits, hostess benefits, on buying something that's a little more substantial, like Well Said. You just want to see how this stamped. And also, if you place a large order, $450 US or more, you get one item for 50% off. That's a great time to get something special for yourself, like the Well Said stamps or the dies. Or you could also just treat yourself because it's Sunday. No, I get it. It's a little bit more than other stamp sets for sure, but it's because it goes with everything. And because remember, there's 51 stamps in it. I should know. I put all the labels on those. Oh, I felt like that was going to be crooked. I felt like that was going to be real crooked. Thank goodness there's two sides to this paper. Let me see if I can do that better. I think the labels, I think I have the label, one of my 51 labels ended up being a little bit crooked. If you can believe that. I probably got blurry-eyed. Okay, let me see if I can do that a little bit better. No, it didn't work. Okay. I could live with it. No. It's off to the left. What was I thinking? Let me count one more and see if I can do better. 3 3/4 by 5. It's not a hard and fast rule. It's just what I like. Okay. This is also why some people don't put any labels on their stamps. Personal preference, right? I find that it's really too hard when you're teaching classes to try and, you know, people can't read these backwards and upside down sometimes. I definitely can't. So, anyway. But, let me try it one more time, okay? And then I'll just choose, again, like the word birthday, I'll just choose the best of what I got. I can see what I'm doing now. Sorry, hold please. The right hand side has to be kicked up a little bit, not the left hand side. Oh, Kathy, you're so smart, right? Stamparatus time. You got it, girl. There. Okay. Good enough. You make a perfect point, Kathy, which is if you do get one of your labels a little cockeyed for some reason, just put it on the Stamparatus. Because then you know exactly what it's going to look like. But I'm sure that it's also very entertaining for you to watch me stamp it crooked. So I like to throw that in every once in a while so you don't think I'm absolutely perfect. I was just thinking that I used the wrong one. But you know what? It doesn't matter. If it's a little off, the person is just going to have to hold the card a little different way. Okay, now let's see what we have in terms of jewelry. We have a lot. First of all, we have the faceted dots that are in colors. We have lots of different rhinestones. And I think I want to use rhinestones. We have a lot of rhinestones that are carrying over, you guys. We have clear rhinestones. We have red rhinestones. We also have champagne rhinestones. We have pearls. And then we have holiday rhinestones and noble peacock rhinestones. And so, as you can tell, this one's been kind of picked over. But of course, my gorgeous grape is still on there. So I'm going to use that. And yeah, I think it'll look really fun. So we'll just have like 3 different tones of purple on here. And then there's our tittle, if you will. And so then we get that put out there. I think this turned out really quite nice. Birthday wishes, celebrating another year of happiness. And if you're having your birthday right now, boy, you're never going to forget it, are you? Oh, it's crazy. Okay, it's 6:07. Do you guys want me to make another card, or are you going to drop off? If you're going to drop off, it's totally okay. Just let me know, because I don't need to sit here and listen to my own voice. Kathy, what's so funny is that I've been using my Stamparatus a lot lately. I guess I put it away a couple of days ago after I made that magic slider card. And then it was like, oh, okay, well, forget it. Okay, yes, Jill, thank you. They are so pretty, aren't they? Okay, I'll just start making the next card, and then if you guys drop off, I'll get the hint, okay? Now we're gonna bring the poppies in, because the poppies are carrying over too. Poppies you can order right now. And look at this picture. I don't know that, it's just a picture I have for inspiration of color, because I think I've told you guys before, like, I'm not a study. Oh, thanks, Devonna. Okay. Devonna says, yes, I'll stay. Okay. I don't have any formal training in color theory, right? Which is one reason why I love Stampin' Up! So much. But I just look for inspiration wherever. And this was probably something I found on Pinterest, somewhere on the internet. And I loved the description, and it said, nature provides a perfect departure point for color therapy. No, for color harmony. And I've always known this, gardening, right, is that all colors go together in gardening. They just kind of do, because they don't ask you if it's right or wrong. They just grow. So while some color combinations may be more or less pleasing to the eye in general, if you see a field of flowers growing, I don't think normally you focus on how the colors don't go together. They just go together. And this is like a perfect example of that, right? So we're not going to create this. We're not going to recreate this. I'm sorry. We're going to take it as our color inspiration. So we have Poppy Parade, Petal Pink. There's some Melon Mambo and Crushed Curry in here. Vanilla. Obviously there's several different colors of green. There's even blue, and it's gorgeous. It's fantastic still life. So I could only hope to make something that looked like that. Anyway, so we're going to kind of use this color composition as a little bit of a jumping off point for our next card. And remember, I told you I wanted to use this piece of paper that's in good taste, because I just love it. It's so cool. It's like it's just some cool texture, right? And I grabbed a Petal Pink card base, because basically that's what I had. So I think also soft suede is a fantastic go-to, but I wanted to use some soft suede cuts from this paper that we took the jar out of. I want to see if maybe we can make some little extra, what do I want to say? Just some, some extra interest with some slices of that, okay? So let's start by cutting this piece 3 3/4 by 5. And I know you can't really see all of that, but that's why I'm telling you what I'm doing. So 3 3/4 by 5. I'm not going to throw those scraps away, because they're perfect for the insides of your card. Or now, when I get to this, I probably throw it away unless I have a design for it. But anything larger, I keep it. And normally, I just tack it right on the inside of the card, because it's just right there, and of course it matches. Looks great. So this is 3 3/4 by 5. Now I want to take this, and I'm going to cut the part that has the jar off, so I just end up having a little square. It doesn't even matter what the measurements are, how long it is. But I'm going to use, I think I'm going to use strips that are 3/4 of an inch wide. Yeah, that looks good. Okay. And I'll cut a third one. I don't think we're going to need it, but I didn't think we needed all that Highland Heather either. And then look what happened to that situation. Okay, here's what I was initially thinking, was to have this placed here, and that even might need to be smaller. And then have like some little, just little strips of it showing on either end. And I want to try a couple of different things here. I want to try it, of course, cut on the bias. Jen calls this the Lisa cut. I'm so impressed, or I'm so, what do I want to say, honored that is the Lisa cut. But that is kind of the Lisa cut, right? I like that. That looks cute. It looks like a rafter almost. I need this to be smaller to really show off that paper. Here we go. So not 3 3/4. I'm going to do 3 1/2. Just going to take it down by 1/4. 3 1/2 by 4 3/4. Oh, still pretty. But my poppies are pretty big, so I better watch it. Is that right? Wow. Now it looks so tiny. Okay, you know what? No, I don't care for that. It's too small. Sorry. Remember I said it's a good thing there's a double pack. Good thing there's a double pack. I'm going to have to use that little one, this little base for something else. I'm going to go back to what I had. And voila! Plenty more where that came from. Okay, let me do what I was doing before. Five and 3 3/4. Okay, and then I'll leave it alone, I promise. Well, let's slice it down. Hi, Mary. How are you? It's nearly 10 a.m. Oh, you're still in your dressing gown. I can't believe it. Well, all right. You can come back in. You can always catch me on replay, right? No worries. Okay, and then I think what we'll use is we'll end up putting this up on the top. That works. Okay, that still gets me where I want to be. And so here's what I wanted to do with the colors. And I want to take advantage of something that is retiring. And that is, we have a package of 3 different colors of vellum. They're really great. And so if you don't have these already, of course I suggest you get it for yourself, because just because it's retiring doesn't mean it like poof goes up into the air. It just means it's retiring. So it's in Petal Pink, Daffodil Delight, and I believe Old Olive. Oh, look, here's all this stuff that, remember I said I was like putting aside and I couldn't find it. Well, I put it aside. Okay, so look, you get like a lot of it. And we're going to use this to create some of that papery feel that that the poppies have. You know, they have a really like translucent, almost crepe paper look. So we're going to do our best. And it turns out pretty cute. I've done this before a couple of times. I really liked the cards. And so what we're going to do is we're going to make the backgrounds out of the vellum. So let's get a couple of those. And then we're going to do the detailed part up front with scraps of cardstock. See how once you organize your scraps, then you're so excited to use them. It's kind of like once you organize your closet, well, to me anyway, once you organize your closet, then you're so excited to like go in there and choose something to wear. Otherwise, when it gets too crazy, it's kind of like, oh man, I gotta choose something to wear. I gotta go into that crazy closet. Come back to me, please. Sorry, I'm using the die cutter, electric die cutter. Okay, so then these just look like blobs, but don't worry, they're going to actually look like flowers magically when we get done with them. And let's cut out the daffodil as well, because remember in our picture it had, well, it had all different colors, but it definitely had poppies that were yellow and poppies that were pink. And poppies that were poppy colored, poppy parade colored. Those are fun. Donna says you often use that sliver of paper. Yeah, exactly, on the inside of the card, right? It's just a little added touch that you can do. That's one more indication that you made the card and it's super special. Okay, so there's a couple of the poppy card bases or flower bases. Now let's do a couple of the leaf bases. Didn't quite know what I wanted to say there for a minute. Leaf bases. And we'll just use, let's see here. So you can see this is, and these still available right now, okay? So get them while they're hot. I'm gonna choose, these are the more detailed ones. I'm gonna save those and make them colored if I want to. Here's another leaf, but I think I'll just use those certain ones for now. And this one's for a little bud, a little flower bud, which I forgot to cut out, but don't worry, we can do that. So we just need to cut a few pieces and parts out, and then we're gonna go shopping, right? We're just gonna piece them together. And I think that DSP that we're gonna use that's back behind it is really gonna show them off nicely. Okay, so again, these just, they come right out. They're beautiful and nothing to be scared of, although they're very detailed dies. They're good dies. So you don't have to worry about things not cutting out. Nope, it's not gonna happen. Not on my watch. Okay, one final thing that we needed out of the vellum was we need a flower bud. This is the flower bud. But you could use it for any number of places that you might need a little oval, right? So also don't forget to mix and match your dies. It's great if you can just remember, like that's the hardest part. Normally what I'll think is, you know, I have an oval die, but where is that? So anyway, I think it's good to keep your supplies at hand so you can just kind of flip through them. Now some supplies, well, not everything can be at hand. Otherwise, unless you have like 20-foot arms. I kind of wish I did when I was working in here actually. Okay, there's that little guy. And I just want to make sure to get this back with the other dies, right? And then I'm going to get the vellum out of here because those are the vellum accents we're going to choose from. Okay, and then save this for another day. You're going to be sad if you don't get it before it retires. I hope it's still available. So those three colors. And if you want me to, I can even tell you what page it's on after we get finished here. I'm going to let's see if I can, oops, no, I made the screen closer. I want to make the screen further away. There we go. So in just a second, you're going to see that I just backed the screen up a little bit. I like to have it a little closer to me when I'm coloring, but then when we're like piecing paper and stuff, of course, we want it a little bit further away, right? Otherwise, you just have to look at my ugly nails, which is also probably going to be one of the first things I venture out to do as well, is safely get those done. Again, not quite sure, but I'm thinking that that's going to happen this week. I'll wait and decide how I feel about that. And so now we want to just, again, since we don't know exactly what our design's going to look like, we're going to grab the two detailed poppy fronts, okay, and cut those out. And then let's do this thing that looks like now coronavirus, right? We didn't even know what that was when this die set came out, or I don't think we did. And now it's all we can think about when we see this die. Oh, so we may as well use it though. It can also be a pretty center to a flower. Okay, so there's a bunch of different things I'm going to cut out in Daffodil Delight. Make my sandwich. Oh, well, thank you, Susan. I'm glad. It is helpful to watch people's processes. I find it very interesting because otherwise, how do we know how the card like fits together, or what things were maybe tried beforehand? Okay, it's getting quite messy off to the left of me. That you cannot see. Thank goodness, or you'd be scared. So I can't find my take your pick tool. That's okay, I have paper snips, right? And then there's that little thing that I always thought it looked like a smiling sun. Oh gosh, that popped right out. And then here's a little flower center that is meant for the flower that's more of a profile. Oh gosh, I hope I can get that out of there. Yep. Okay. And then of course the large pieces, they're not so hard. And you could even paper pierce, or you could piece this poppy back together with different colors of, you know, like, so you would die cut this several different times in several different colors. And then you could replace the center with different colors if you wanted to. That's yet another way to do this. Yeah, kind of fun. So, let's see here. Really wish I could find that take your pick tool. I'm scared to touch what's over on the other side of me because it's like a mountain of all the paper I've just used. I kind of need to move it. I'm afraid to. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Never fear. Right? I knew I'd get to the bottom of that and find that thing somewhere. Okay. Probably a better idea to keep that at a minimum over there. Okay, now let's do same thing, only with some Petal Pink scrap. Again, just have to get into my Settles bag here. Now, Petal Pink is the one that is more of an apricot color, right? Oh, I don't know if that's going to be wide enough. Oh, it is. Great. Okay. See, like I said, once you have all the scraps in there, then you want to use all the funky scraps first. You know, the weird sized scraps for the little pieces. Instead of what I was doing, which was just like grabbing whatever I could find. It was normally a big slice of paper. And then I ended up with all these little slices of paper. Okay, and there. I think that's good. So I'm using the Gemini Junior right now, but I'm going to be very excited to use the new Stampin' Cut and Emboss once it comes out. And you can watch me, you'll be able to watch me do it for most things because we're going to have a regular size Stampin' Cut and Emboss. And we're going to have a mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss. No way, Jill. Not panning over to that side of the room. You can't handle the truth. Okay, you can see where this is going already. Already very beautiful. Just as die cuts, right? These are art in themselves. I love them. So pretty. Remember before we had, I don't know if you guys remember this, but, or if this is how it was when you first started. I started as a scrapbooker because card making wasn't really a thing that I knew of. I very quickly moved into card making once I started rubber stamping. I never went back. The scrapbookers of the world lost me at that point. So anyway, two of my girlfriends, as I've said many times, 25 or 6 years ago, took me to a store on Friday night called Scrappers, and you could use all of their supplies. You bought your supplies while you bought your consumables, but really they had all the non-consumables and you could use them if you paid the fee to go there. So they had a die cutter, which didn't have, like, you can't even imagine. It was probably had letters and numbers and a sun. But we thought it was really fantastic because we didn't have anything to compare it to. And it was very nice. It was super fun because it was something that we did that was social. But now I'm, it's kind of like, oh my gosh, I look back at those days and I was like, we worked so hard just to get like our name die cut. And now you can just sit and do it at your own house. So excellent. So funny. Okay, now the last thing we need to die cut, I believe, are just the leaves. Let's do a couple of the leaves. And let's do those in Old Olive, right? And I think we're going to have all the pieces we want. What are you doing, troublemaker? Troublemaker. Let me grab that Old Olive. Is it in Regals? Oh no, this is Neutrals. That's not gonna work. Here we go. All right. One more set. And really, I just think we need just to run this one through one time. Then we'll be good. All right. I also watched the series Broadchurch. I think I may have mentioned that before, but I really liked it. It's a British produced, and Rose Coleman is in it. I think that's her name, and she's currently playing Queen Elizabeth on The Crown. And she's a well-standing actress. She's done a lot of things, so I really like her. But it's Broadchurch. Roz, did you watch that? I don't know what Broad Street is, but anyway, it's been really good, and it's over. There were only 3 seasons. I was watching it. My girlfriends were watching it too. Remember, we have TV Club. So anyway, we need something new for TV Club. I've got to get on that. My mom told me of a series called The Night Manager, and I need to preview one of those to see if that's something that would be good for TV Club. I wonder if TV Club's only going to go through COVID time, or if we're going to do it afterwards. Frankly, I'm fine with doing it afterwards. But, I don't know, it might be a short-lived thing. But it's really fun. And then I guess right now we're meeting on Zoom, and so we can just meet for coffee and talk about it instead. Oh, I miss getting together for coffee with girls. Is that not so crazy? I mean, it's not crazy because obviously it makes sense. It's one of my favorite things to do is get together with my friends, talk, and drink coffee or tea or whatever. Oh, Bosch is very good. I've seen that. And thought about that show. Okay, let's start kind of piecing this together. I want to kind of have this in the background a little bit. It's kind of like some grounding piece, So the way these go together is you just find like one of the pieces. I usually work off of this sharp V. And then there's a couple different things you can do. You can put these together so that they line up, or you can put them together so they're offset. There's no wrong, there's no wrong way to do it. It's a flower, right? Hello, kid. What's going on out there? And I'm just going to put some mono in the middle and then let them just be free on the outside. They'll have some movement like a row poppy. So let me put these together so that we can take a look and see what we might prefer. See it already? Isn't that pretty? And up on this paper, you can kind of still see the texture through it. It's really fun. Okay. Oh my gosh, there's still 8 of you. Some of you might come back for replay, but we lost 8, we lost everybody but 8. You know what? That's all right. That's okay. They probably had to go have dinner. Totally allowed. Okay. Very fun. I know, Roz. It's nothing, it doesn't change the world or anything, but it's good. It's good time. So I am looking forward to that. And I did go see my mom on Mother's Day. I made that call. I was like, it is worth it to me. So actually, we had family dinner because my mom always cooks dinner on Sunday. And I never go because I'm over in Boise and they're over there. And there's usually a ton of traffic. But first of all, I went because it's Mother's Day. And second of all, it was a lot easier to get over there. Now that's one thing I won't miss is if traffic goes back to normal. I don't know if it will because obviously we don't have a vaccine yet, but also working from home, lots of different companies, mine included, have talked about possibly loosening the gates a little bit on that, allowing more of it. So I think it's good. I'm totally fine with that for a lot of reasons. Don't the leaves turn out beautiful? And again, this is just, it's tone on tone, but it's different paper. So another way you can do this is you can cut the background or the foreground out of DSP. And, or any of your die cuts, you can cut out of DSP. So they'll have a small bit of pattern on them. And then the background might be solid or vice versa. So I'd love to see you try that. We'll just put these pieces together since I have them. And then I can make a couple of cards. All right. Final poppy. Look at that. So pretty, right? And then a couple of leaves. That's really all we need. Now, kind of wondering, because the last card I had, the last cards I made were that kind of, the paper was all off-centered. So I'm thinking, maybe I just want to stick with that. Hello, Natasha. Very nice to see you. And you can definitely watch the replay. Susan says she's still here. Okay, great, Susan. Gary is working on his remote classes for this coming week. Nice. Well, we get you then. That's fantastic. Okay. So I was thinking about having this paper at the very beginning. I was thinking about having this back behind, but now I'm thinking, no, I want it up front. It'll probably be back behind a sentiment that we do. I am thinking though about this one ribbon that I got in the pre-order that is so fabulous. It's that faux suede in Early Espresso. Look at it. It goes with the suite that's the In Good Taste. It's Tasteful Textures, I believe. Has a fantastic stamp set that I also got. I think you're seeing a recurring theme there. Like I said, it's pretty good for me financially that they limit the pre-order because somebody needs to limit me. I need to be limited somehow. And so Stampin' Up! Was kind enough to step in and do that for me. Thank you, Stampin' Up! I appreciate it. Okay, we're just going to start. And Kathy says our internet's acting up. That's no problem, Kathy. No problem at all. I was kind of giving you guys a workout anyway for a Sunday afternoon. I have you here for, what is an hour and 36 minutes already. How's that possible? Time flies, right? Oh, time flies. Okay, I better decide on what sentiment we're going to use. Oh, I want to use, I'm thinking about one right now. It's in the sunflower set. Also for the pre-order. It's beautiful. Uh-oh, what was that? Just grabbing the set here. Sorry, ladies. I'm not far, believe me. Not far. Oh, brother. But I just can't see what I want when I want it, right? Oh, come on now. Work with me. Work with me, stamp sets. I'm sorry, you guys. If this is on my desk, I'm going to laugh. Celebrate sunflowers. Where are you? Must be in my trolley. Must be in the trolley here. It's not, but that's okay. This is in the trolley, and I love these sentiments as well. So there you go. We'll probably use a little note because that's kind of cute, and I wanted a longer one. I wanted that one set that says, or I wanted the one that says, "Let's celebrate you," but it's okay. And I was thinking about using, oh, vanilla is coming off awfully yellow now. I don't think I'm going to do that. It's 8:37. Oh, that's right. So look at all the time I have left. Bras. I'm way behind you. 2 hours. That works for me. Okay, I think I'm just going to stamp this on a little white. You know we have plenty of white till the end of time. So let me get one of my favorite little strips out. Never get rid of these strips. They're so handy. The offcuts are so handy. Okay. And what color would you like me to stamp the sentiment on? Why don't you guys tell me what you would like to see? And I'm going to figure out how to put a little bit of this suede into it as well. May just end up being like a line, but let's see here. Okay, so let's do this, and let's grab, remember we're getting back to just doing different colors, right, that are in nature. And let's see, this guy can, I'm just dry fitting everything right now, and then we'll put it in place when we're happy with it. And then just this little guy will go in there really well. Maybe this way. You know, maybe right there. And then we'll use this, oops, of course it kind of moves, but then we'll use this to kind of ground the whole thing and bring it down. So we will use that down at the bottom and then pop up a sentiment on the top of it. I do think I want that. The pink paper does match. I think all of the pinks match. So they're all petal pink. They're just DSP, cardstock, and vellum. Kind of cool, right? So you're thinking, oh, yes, Roz, I can do my wiggle with my ribbon. That's a great idea. And Susan, I think you're asking me to stamp in petal pink. It might be kind of light, but let me try. Otherwise, I was thinking old olive too. So let's try both of those and see where we get. Old olive. And I love this Butterfly Gala set. This is, I'm doing an online class at the end of the month. Well, it goes live at the end of the month, but you can watch it at any time. Again, it's going to be recorded on a Facebook page, but I love this stamp set. Or, yeah, I love the butterflies. And they come with a punch as well. And they're carrying over, so we love all that. And, actually, this is twice the set. okay? Because I bought this set twice because I lost or misplaced and have yet to find this sentiment, and I love it so much that I didn't immediately buy it. I looked, believe me, I looked, because I didn't want to buy a whole stamp set for one sentiment. I mean, I don't even know that I've ever done that before, but I was like, I have to have it. And now, of course, it's fine because it's carrying over, and so that's perfect. Oh, so cute. Okay, now let's stamp this in Petal Pink as well. And then we'll make our choice. Oh, ink it in espresso. Well, now that's a good idea too. Okay, we have time. We have time to look. Because my hardcore team is already staying, right? So you're already here. It's okay. This little note is so adorable. Again, if you don't have Butterfly Gala, put it on your list for some time. I'd love it if you bought it and then took my class. However, just so long as you get it sometime. That's all. Okay, now final thing we want to do is Petal Pink. Right. And, of course, I have to clean that off on the chamois. We definitely need that cleaned up a little bit. Would not be a good color combo. It would come out as brown. And it would make my ink pad dirty. So we don't want that. Also beautiful. And it does pop. It pops, Susan. It pops off the paper. So here's the cool thing we can do though is set that aside. So we're going to have this over here. So we think this is probably going to be, that might be the length it's going to be. Actually, now what I'm going to do is what Roz suggested, which is very fun. I'm going to make sure I want the top to be where the point is the longest. Okay, now I dug myself out of that avalanche so I can see where my snail is again. It's like magic. And then I'm just going to take this ribbon and don't take it off the spool because this is hard to gauge. You just have to kind of know, like, just give it a try. And so as you're going along here, of course, it's sticking to the back because I ran all that snail. Now I'm going to try to keep the angle and the size of the loops the same. It's kind of difficult, but what makes it so easy is that you can just pull it right back off of the underside and reposition it. Okay, so think of it as like sticking something onto a Post-it note. It's really cool. It's thicker than other ribbons I've done this with before, so it takes a little bit of adjustment, but it will do it. It's very cool. It definitely looks like a strip of suede leather. It's very interesting, isn't it? Oh, you're very welcome, Roz. I didn't know it was called the Wiggle Move. Kind of like I didn't know this was called the Lisa Cut. But we can deal with that, right? We can take it. Is that fun? Okay, I just realized I probably don't want that on the top. That's going to look kind of dumb. I want it to be grounded, right? Didn't I just say that? I want it to be like the grounding piece. Okay, well, this whole thing's going to be, so it's just as easy as that. All right, to like move it off there. And away we go. It actually might be a little bit easier for me to even up the way this angle is. So you can put it in here as thick or as thin as you want to. You can make the loops as big or as small, and you can make it angled, or you can make it straight up and down. Straight up and down is probably easier, which is why would I do that? These are gonna have to be random on purpose. Because really, I don't want to make you guys wait forever for me to get this right. the ribbon is, it's fun to do this with almost any kind of ribbon. I probably wouldn't do it with our scalloped linen ribbon or anything that's as thick as that. You want something that's going to have a little bit of movement. The one thing that I used it with that's probably my favorite is the crinkled seam binding ribbon, also carrying over. So no worries. And then see, this is what it ends up looking like on the back. And so then you can just cut that off right there. Then you haven't cut any more than you needed. No one knows. And then we're going to put this up on dimensionals for sure because it's really bulky. And I'm going to cut it flat right towards the end. Okay, that's where our sentiment's going to go. Okay, now I just need to glue our flowers on. Now I had them all sitting really nice and pretty, and then I moved everything, didn't I? But that's all right. I do think I want to use the pink as a base still. Well, thanks, Natasha. And so when you're using this, it's pretty easy. Glue dots work great for this. I was going to use the mono because I thought it might be a little faster, but it's turning out to be slower because that's almost empty, I think. So let's just use some glue dots. It's perfect. And it's a little bit of a stronger adhesive, so you don't need too much, but just put it back behind where the cardstock is. And then you don't see any of it through the vellum, right? So, oh, you know, okay. Oh, we made it. Okay. And you just kind of, I don't know, turn it around until you like it. And then we're going to piece this in, right? Really, it only needs one for right now. And so I want this back behind and then coming up towards the top of the card. So the top of the card has something on it. And then I want to use our, oh my goodness, where did it go? Our Daffodil Delight small flower. Oh, there it is. Okay. All that work, like, I was afraid I was going to have to look through this avalanche of stuff that's on the left-hand side of me. Never fear. Okay, now I think I'm going to put that right up there. And then this is going to fit. Oh, it needs to be a little bit higher, doesn't it? It's okay. It's only have one glue dot on it. Let's do this. Let's put our sentiment strip on right now. Oh my gosh. You know, one thing about doing this like earlier than I normally do is that I can go for a really long time. So that's good news or bad news. People are like, wrap it up. We're trying to do a family thing and you're watching your friend. And I just keep making cards, don't I? We're almost there. We're almost there. This is not that painful. We can make it. It's kind of funny how I happened to look up and I was like, oh my gosh, get going, Lisa. These ladies have things to do. Okay, so that's super cute. And then now we know where to position the little yellow flower. And I might want it just like, I want it underneath the pink one. I don't want it to show through the layers. Kind of just have to start sliding them around, you know? And then that looks great. And then, now this one's always kind of funky because it's going a different way than I might like. I don't know. I guess it's going to be like that. I wish it kind of faced the other way. I should have made it so it would face the other way, huh? Oh, well. Okay, and I'm just going to put one on the end here. You might be able to see it a little bit, but I don't think so. I think you really have to look. Okay. Now, you can put some centers in as well. Remember, there's those little centers. These can be metallic bits. That's what I usually like to do, is make these out of metallic and stuff. Oh, actually, I need the little one. But today it's just kind of tonal, right? Just same cardstock. Oh, come on. Seriously? I didn't know that I ever ran out of a Tombow nowadays. Now that, I'm not doing face-to-face classes right now, but also I have that great holder that Roz sent to me, and it gets every little drop out for you. So, who figures? Who knew? I guess it does eventually run dry. Yeah, Susan, I like chatting with all of you, so I can go. But normally by Thursday night, I do have a limit. I can feel myself fading if I don't like wrap it up. Then I start just acting crazy. Then I start talking nonsense, even more nonsense than now. Now I'm going to put this final one up here, and I'm going to stagger these little, what I would think are stamens, these little, I don't know, kind of legs, if you will. And we do have one, this gets fussy, but we have this. I'm going to use a glue dot on that as well. Both of these pieces are vellum, but that's okay. We can do that. We can do whatever we want. No rules. So remember, this was that tiny oval that's like the flower bud. And then the leaves, right? And then I'll give it one more glue dot so we can that's funny, Jill. All right, I accept that. Let's put this down here so we have just a little bit of green down in this corner. I even kind of like, oh, so cute. The poppies are like winners. Okay, now that we have that done, now we can kind of see which one we'd rather have. There's Petal Pink, and I will notch the end, whatever we decide. Here's the green, okay? And then here's the espresso. Which do y'all like? I think I can tell what I like, but I'll tell you right now, the green's out for me. So it's either espresso or the pink. You can't go wrong with either one of those. So what do you like, ladies? What's your pleasure? You should get rewarded for sticking around to the end. And if you're on replay, just tell me hello. I handle that very well as well. Oh, this is such a pretty card. I love this new DSP. See, the existing stamp sets and the new go together so well, don't they? We've got espresso. We've got 2 espressos. So, and really, yeah, I think that was a good call. So let's mimic, right? The bias cut, the Lisa cut. Oh, there's Devonna. She's still hiding and saying hi. You said you were going to stick around with me, Devonna, and you did. Good job. You know, okay, I'm going to say something that is rhetorical. You don't need to say anything, but I hope it was worth it. I hope that it was a good little ending. Okay, and now these are going to go into my little Fiestaware bowl of treasures for later. And then I'll be able to really make a card like this. Now, final thing is, let's see if there's any embellishment that I need to add to this. I don't know. And I've already cleaned out my embellishments, so I don't have anything that is, if it's not coming back in the new catalog, I don't have it over here. I almost kind of am thinking these would be fun. They kind of play off as silver, though. What do you guys think? Anything? Oh, you enjoyed. Oh, so glad to hear that. I think I'm going to hold off on those. Not everything has to have a piece of jewelry on it. Oh, okay, we do have the champagne. Where are those? Those are so, they're kind of like little chameleons. They really are. I think I might like that. Sorry, acting like I'm eating like a delicious something. They play off with a lot of colors really well. Look at that. Okay, so they're champagne, right? They look like champagne, more of a brown. But you put them on this pink and they immediately go pink. But then they still play well over here. Yeah, we're going to use these because they're just gorgeous. And why wouldn't I want to, right? It's already kind of a feminine card, so we're going to make it feminine. Nice. I love it. Thank you so much for hanging out with me on this different day. It was very nice. It's always fun to come on at a different time and day because often you have different viewers, right? So anyway, here are our creations from today. I absolutely love them. They make me happy. They're florals, which make me happy. They're beautiful colors, and you were here to help me create them. And so I love all of that. Thank you so much, you guys. And I'll be back to share more with you no later than Thursday. How about that? Okay, see you then. Have a great week.